All right, so in this challenge, we're going to be trying to build out a password generator. So basically, a user has a panel over here where they can choose the length of their password up to 32 characters. And as they change that, you'll see down here, this input automatically updates with all the different characters that based on what selections you have here. If you just want all uppercase letters in your password, you can do that. And then finally, you can click on this clipboard button to copy to your clipboard. If you go back over here, which I can paste in wherever I want, right? So this is what we're going to build out. I don't think this thing is too hard to build, but it's a very good challenge to stress your knowledge with inputs and range sliders and checkboxes and like copy to clipboard functionality. You'll probably learn something new watching this if you are a beginner. Now, like always, be sure to pause the video. I challenge you to build this out yourself and then come back and watch how I built it if you just want some additional tips and tricks about how you can do it. All right, so this one should be more of like a traditional React type of challenge. We're going to be building out a password generator. So if you were to go ahead and make like a form here, a password generator typically allows you to set a number of characters that you want. So like, for example, you can type in 12. I don't know why this is so large. Let's do 12 characters. And this could be linked into a slider as well if you wanted to. So you could have a slider here, and a HTML slider kind of looks like this, where you can have like a min and a max. And then a user can basically pick if they want certain characters in the password. So we can go ahead and just add in like a couple of checkboxes here with a label. And we can go ahead and say like uppercase letters. And then we could say lowercase. Maybe you can do numbers. And then also you could do some special characters. I'll just say special. And the idea is a user can go ahead and pick whatever they want. Let me just go ahead and do like a check so you know that these are like checkboxes. And then down here at the bottom, we're going to go ahead and print out the password. So we'll have like some random password that's generated for the user that's going to have a certain amount of characters. And then additionally, we're going to have a copy button. So I think we could just go ahead and do like a copy, and then we'll have like a copy button over there. And if you click it, it'll copy this password to your clipboard. And this could also be an input in case someone wants to just like double click this and do a traditional copy. So that's what we're going to try to build. This shouldn't be too challenging, but let's go ahead and try to look at what React state we may need. So we're going to go ahead and just define some state here. And we're going to have to link in all of these different things into state somehow. So the first thing could be like the password length, could be a number. I'll just go ahead and do that. And then we need a Boolean state for all of these checkboxes. So like I said, like is uppercase, that could be a Boolean. We could say is lowercase. That could be a Boolean, is numbers, and is special, right? And then finally, we need to take the output when we like derive your password. We need to put it somewhere. So let's just go ahead and add some state here called like password, and that could be a string. All right, so I think that's all the state we are going to need to be able to hopefully solve this problem. Again, the password is what's going to link this to here. We have is special, and that's going to link to this input box. Is lowercase, you should get the idea by now. And then finally, the password length will be this slider. Okay. So again, when you're solving these problems, it's good to understand how your state is going to map to your UI, because typically the things that change in your UI, you need to map to some type of dynamic variable or state under the hood. Now, by the way, if you're watching this video and you made it this far, I'm going to make a discount code. It's going to be the True Learner discount code. Because if you made it this far, I assume you're actually a true learner. This is a discount code you can use, TA8R653. And that'll allow you to buy the course at $50. And there's a limited quality of 10 of them. So only 10 of you guys will be able to use this discount code. And I'll probably keep doing this as I make new videos on my channel. So keep in mind, I might make it a higher discount code next time. You never know. All right, let's jump over to trying to build out this UI. So let's go over to the code. And the first thing I'd probably start with is let's just do like the password length state. We'll say const password length, and then we'll just go ahead and import that, and we'll default it as 10. And then we want to add an input here for that slider that I talked about. So I'll have like an input here, and this is going to be representing this design that we did. So the 12 and the slider, that's what we're going to focus on first. So let's do a value here, and that's going to be the password length. And then we're going to add an on change to it, so that when someone types into that input box, it'll update this state. Okay, pretty simple enough. You just have to convert or cast the value to a number. By the way, there's a way to say value as number here, so you don't even need to cast this. Nice little trick there. But directly next to this input, let's also add a range input. So I'm going to say type is range. There we go. And this is going to allow us to put a min and a max. I think the min length for a password typically is should be like 8 or something to keep it secure. Maybe it's even higher than that, but we're going to go ahead and just put it as 1, and the max will do 32. And we'll go ahead and also link this to the same state variable. You can have different inputs all connected to the same state variable, which is pretty cool. But these magic numbers I don't like, so I'm going to go ahead and say const min length is 1. In fact, I'll say password length. I like to be verbose when I name my stuff. And then we can also make one for the max password length, just like this. All right, let's go back to the UI and just see what do we got. We got a slider here that says 10, and as I slide this thing, you'll see that it goes up. It maxes out at 32, and then of course we have a min of 1. I might make it 8 just because I don't think it's good to have people make small passwords. Anyway, so let's try to style this a little bit. I want to make this panel be in the center of the screen. So let's add a div inside here, and I'll say flex, and I'll say bg white. I'll say rounded to make it, rounded corners, and I'm going to put all that stuff directly in there. So now we have like a panel. I want to add some padding to it though. I could do like padding of 12 so that it brings everything in. And for the whole panel, let's just go ahead and say like a width of 1/2. So that'll basically make it be a half of the size of your screen, which is pretty good. And then we want to center it. So how do we center this panel in the center of the screen? Well, above this div, we can go ahead and say flex, justify center, item center, H screen. Okay, and that should put it directly in the center. So now we have our little password panel here where we can pick stuff and whatnot. Now it also might make sense to put some gap here and reduce the size of this input, and then also style this input because it doesn't look very good right now. So say class name bg gray of 400. I think it's already text black. Yeah, there we go. And then I can go ahead and just this whole thing here, just put a little bit of gap on it. So gap of 4 or 2, and that'll put a little spacing here. Then I can give this a little bit of padding. I don't like how the 2 is so next to that. So let's go to this div and I'll say padding X of 2, and that should bring it in. I'd also say padding Y of 1 if you wanted to. Just say text of large to make the text a little bit larger. And then what we could do is round it a little bit. So I'll say rounded. There you go. And then finally, I want to reduce the width of this. So I can just go ahead and say width -12, and that should just give it a fixed width of 12. Whatever 12 is in Tailwind, like the different numbers map to different sizes. All right, so this is probably good enough. We have a way for a user to slide and change, and also they can just manually. But we ran into a first bug. When they actually try to manually change this input, it just breaks. It says not a number. So I might actually switch this to be a string. Okay, I think it might make more sense to just have these be strings so it doesn't break when a user types into it. Okay, so like the min and the max still works with that. Cool, so now you can type into it and you can slide this. Now I might also change this to a number type. Did you know that you can actually say type number on these inputs, and that'll make it be a particular number type, so I can actually increment this or decrement this manually. I think I can still type in a really big number, which isn't necessarily good. And then also the width, I might actually say like 16, just to give that some more spacing. And then I think you can also say min and max on this. So I could just put a min and max on the input itself. And then that should prevent me from going under 8. And then I think it'll also prevent me from going above 32. And if you were to type in a big number, it still kind of goes way past that number for some reasons, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. I might make this a little bit darker, honestly. There we go. And now let's try to add in those checkboxes. So underneath this section, which technically we could probably wrap in a div, and then underneath that div, we can make another div. And then in this div, we're going to add 4 checkboxes. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a label here. And inside that label, I'm going to do input type of checkbox. And then we can go ahead and say include numbers. And that should hopefully show that label with the checkbox there. I just need to change the styling of the text a little bit. So here, I could probably just on the div itself, I could say text of black, and that should fix that. Now I want these checkboxes to be below the input in the slider. So how would I do that? Well, over here, I could simply say flex column, and that should stack them now. And then on this div, I need to go back and add the flex, so I can add a little bit of gap. And then now we can go ahead and select these. We could probably add some gap to the label itself, so I could just go ahead and give it some gap. There you go. And what else do we need? We need uppercase, numbers, lowercase, and special. So uppercase. Let's just go ahead and copy this, and I'll say lowercase. And then we'll say numbers, and then we'll say special. All right, let's check this out. So we have 4 checkboxes, and I want to make these 2 be on the left, but these 2 be on the right. Again, how do you do that? Well, we could simply give this a grid. Then I can say grid calls 2, and that'll take the first 2 and put them on the same row up here, as you can tell. And then I'll take the second 2 and put them on the next row. So that's how you can change your grids. Like if you wanted to make this 3, you know, play around with it, test it out and see what happens. So now we get 3 different columns. Let's keep it as 2. And what I want to do is I want to give this whole thing some gap of 4. So these will actually space them out. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Now I want to hook these to state. Right now we don't have any of these linked to state. Let's go over here and say const is uppercase and add all 4 of those. Okay, and now we just need to go to the inputs and hook those in. So let's just go ahead and say value. And we'll just go ahead and say is uppercase here. And then we'll add it to this one. And also we need to add an on change. So when someone actually checks this checkbox, we should probably update is lowercase to be the value of the check. Actually, it's not a value. I think it's checked. There we go. And of course, we'll add that on change here. We'll add it to the other ones. And then down here, of course. Okay, so now we've actually hooked all 4 of those checkboxes into state. They all default to true. But what we're going to do now is as you change these things, we want to recompute the password and output that somewhere. So down here underneath this panel, let's just make another panel. So I'm going to go ahead and just minimize this one, and then we're going to go down here and make another div. And this div, technically we could just give it the same class information. And I'm going to go ahead and just print out a random password, like a bunch of random characters, like this. And it's putting it on the right. So we don't want it to be on the right. We want it to be stacked. So how do we do that? Well, we do a flex call. And now they're going to be stacked. And then we can add some space. So gap of 4. There you have it. Now, like we said, we want to have an input with a copy button. So let's make this an input. So I'm going to change this to an input. And then we can just go ahead and do this. And what we want to do is I'll go ahead and just apply that basic styling to it to make it a little bit gray. But for the value of this input, we need to basically compute what the password's going to be. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say const password is equal to, and then I'll just go ahead and put some strings here. And then in the input, we'll say value of the password. We're going to hard code it, but eventually we need to actually generate one based on all these state variables, right? All right, so now we have the password. Right now, this is like a fixed width. We don't want that to be a fixed width. And then we can also add a button here that says copy. I think I have an icon library installed. I think I can just bring in the copy button like that. Here it is. We can go ahead and just give this like a text to black so it's visible. And I want to stack this over here on the right. How do you do that? Well, again, just get rid of the flex column on this. And there you have it. It's going to be directly to the right there. So here's the fun part. We have to actually generate this password. So how do we generate this password? We're going to go ahead and make a function called generate password. And that's going to take in all of this state information. So we're going to go ahead and just take in like the length. We'll say is uppercase, is lowercase. We'll do all that stuff. And we're going to go ahead and take this function and we're going to invoke it right here. So we'll pass in all of that information to take the current password length and parse it so that it's actually going to be a number. Now inside of this, what we could do is we can make different arrays that contain like all uppercase, all lowercase, all special numbers, and all special characters. So I'm going to go ahead and just say const uppercase and just put every uppercase letter. And then we're also going to say const lowercase and do all the lowercase. We'll say const numbers, and then we'll say const special. I'm going to do one line at a time, but again, AI is just going to make us move a little bit faster. And basically what we need to do is based on which ones you have selected, we can append them all to the same string. So I'm gonna go ahead and say like combined is equal to, and I'll just do an empty string, and then we can say if is uppercase is defined, then we're gonna say combined plus equals the uppercase. Okay, so basically we have like this empty string, but then we attach all these different character choices onto the string. And I'll make this a let so we can actually modify it. And then we'll do the same thing with the lowercase. We'll do the same thing with the numbers and then with the special characters. And what this allows us to do is down here, we'll have this giant combined string with every character we could choose from. And I just need to get a random character index. So I'm going to say math.floor, and then we'll say math.random. And we want to times the combined length. And that should hopefully give us a random character index, which we can do to get a random character. Okay. Now that's how you can get one random character from this giant string of characters, right? But we actually want to get how many of them. You want to get a certain amount. So let's just go ahead and say const password is equal to an empty string. And then we want to loop how many times? Well, the amount that we passed in here. So I'm going to say for let I equal 0, I less than length, I plus plus. And then we can simply keep appending to that. So I'm going to say password plus equals, and we're going to move this code up here, and then we're going to use it. And let's just return password there. All right, so this is iteration 1 of my solution. Let's go over here, and as you change this, you'll see that password get larger, and as you scale it down, it gets lower. You can remove uppercases, you can remove numbers, you can remove lower cases, and then if you remove special, it just breaks. Right? So I do think having at least one defined might be something we should add in, like at least like make uppercase always be true. So wherever we call set uppercase, I think we probably just don't even want this. I'll just get rid of it, and we'll just always force uppercase to be needed. And then I'll just say disabled right there. Okay, this is just my solution, but you can implement however you want. Okay, so you at least have to have the uppercase, and then you can pick this. Now I want to show you a little trick. Instead of having to do this, which is kind of verbose, we can actually just make a new array. So I can say new array. It needs to be the length of how many characters we want. So I'll say length. And then we can say fill with empty strings, and I'll say dot map. And then all we need to do is generate a random character for every single one. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this out, and I'll say return random character, and I'll join it back in. Okay. So this will achieve the exact same solution. I just don't like using for loops. I think they're a little bit sloppy. If you can find a more functional programming way to, do a map or a fill or a join, I think it just works better. Now looking at this, there's probably a way you can simplify this too, but I think this is very easy to read, and I would choose easier to read code over short and concise code. All right, the very last thing we need to do is when someone clicks on this copy button, we want to copy the current text here to the clipboard. So we'll add an onClick, and I think there's a built-in way in the browser to actually like copy something to a clipboard. I think that's what it is, navigator.clipboard.write text, and we just need to pass in the current password that's being displayed. You can just pass it whatever string. And so now if I click on this and go ahead and just like go over here and just paste it in, notice that we got our password. Just to verify it, let's add some special characters, reduce the length, copy it, and now we got that password. All right, so that's how you can build a random password generator. I don't think this challenge was too difficult, but it did, allow us to learn how to make different inputs and range inputs and checkboxes and how to hook them in the state and how to use all this state together to generate a new React computed variable and put it somewhere else. And then finally, of course, you can just copy stuff to a clipboard. Super easy to do.